great game that came down to the wire.
It's intercepted inside the 5. Touchdown, Oregon.
Pressure and the throw to the end zone. Wow, what a play. Indiana wins it, and they knock off the Oregon Ducks.
Obviously, it's a get-back game, so it's time. The energy has to be at an all-time high.
Tonight's Ram Trucks Spotlight on the regular season meeting between these two teams. The only loss of the year for the Oregon Ducks. It was in Eugene. It was a tie game midway through the fourth quarter when Indiana scored the last 10 points of the game. The 2 interceptions in that game, the most Dante Moore has thrown in any game this season, and the Ducks stifled by that terrific Indiana defense in the second half. Just 64 yards of offense for the high-flying Ducks. 64-year-old Curt Cignetti. In his second season at Indiana, he is 25-2. They're the only undefeated team in the country. The 14 wins has shattered the school record of 11 they set last year in his first season as head coach in Bloomington when they went 11-2. They won that 3-7 game at Oregon, won in dramatic fashion at Penn State, went on to beat Ohio State for the first Big Ten title since 1967, and then walloped Alabama in the quarterfinals. Curt Cignetti said, "I told my team I knew we had a much better team than Alabama," and he believes that Oregon is a much stiffer opponent tonight, and they know that by virtue of having played the Ducks back in October. Cignetti's won just about every National Coach of the Year honor, deservedly so.
Don't tighten that thing too much. We'll never get out.
Native of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. About to coach the biggest game of his life, and he's a coaching lifer. Grew up on the sidelines. His dad, the coach at Indiana University of Pennsylvania in West Virginia. When Curt Cignetti was a young boy, he said, "I knew in the 3rd grade as a ball boy in Morgantown I wanted to be a coach." And he's on his way to the College Football Hall of Fame when his career is over.
Go!
The Hoosiers take the field. In terms of the crowd, it'll be a decided home field advantage for Cignetti's team. Greg, you were on the field before the game, estimated it's about 80% Indiana fans here.
And as it's filled in, it might even be slightly higher than that. I mean, they are out in droves, and a lot of IU chants in the concourse. You're making your way to your seats.
Here comes Dan Lanning. At age 39 in his 4th year at Oregon. They are 13-1. Started the year 5-0, then suffered that only defeat at the hands of the Hoosiers. They've responded with 8 straight wins, including the 2 victories here in the playoff. 13 wins ties the school record. It's the 3rd time they've done that, including last year when they were the #1 seed in the college football playoff and lost to Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. Back in 2014, they won 13 games and lost to the Buckeyes in the national championship game in the first year of the college football playoff. These fans might be travel weary. They were in Miami for the game in the Capital One Orange Bowl a week ago. That convincing win over Texas Tech, the Big 12 champs. Craig, Dan Lanning said, "We need to put it all together." It's indicative of the season, the way the playoffs gone. In the first round, they scored a lot of points against James Madison, and then it was the defense that carried the day against the Red Raiders.
Yeah, he feels like, with the exception of the Rutgers game earlier in the season, they have yet to play a game in which all 3 phases were playing at a high level. Beat Indiana, that's the type of effort it will require.
Lanning has won at least 10 games in each of his 4 seasons in Eugene. He is 48-7 in 4 seasons. Captains making their way to midfield. The front of the line for Indiana, you saw Pat Coogan The transfer from Notre Dame, who played in the national title game last year for the Irish.